now listening to it 1 year later, how she articulates the value she got through the program and the transformation that she went through, I don't know, like I'm just hearing a different layer to it.
What is it that you need to do to begin selling with confidence and belief so that the market comes back with a resounding yes? The value that we offer is always there. We simply need to recognize and learn to harness it. You just have to be able to tune in to see it and then really maximize it in how you sell what you do. So this video is all about addressing exactly this. It's about transforming self-doubt into confidence and belief to successfully market and sell your offerings. I had to go back recently and listen to a video that a client recorded for us about 1.5 years ago. And it was so good and so well articulated the value that she got from the program that she ran through with us. It was listening back to it where I was realizing that I was getting this completely new layer to the story. Now, you want that confidence, you want that belief, you want the market to say yes, but there's something holding you back. And so you default to selling what you know, and you keep going, you do a little bit of everything, but you're still feeling trapped in not knowing how to really further your business. I want to cover this topic today because it's something that we see a lot. So I know every single one of these problems intimately because they were personal struggles that I faced as well. And when I think back to my own journey, initially as a solopreneur, and then joined a few years later by my business partner, Christina, there were a few crucial points around integrating all this, no matter where you are currently in your offer journey. There was this selling before I was ready, and that helped me to build a wealth of live experience that I only fully realized later the entirety of the value that it gave us. We had ready proof points and also case studies. Spending time on clarity is definitely another one. I often say I wish we had someone to do to us what we now do to our clients, because we spend a really long time on clarity. We're just often too close to our own stuff, and we have all this emotional baggage and self-doubts that are in the way to be able to see things clearly. Lastly, learning to take the feedback and really be able to receive it, learning to listen to it. This is an art, because I was so fixated on the deliverables and the outcomes and the results that needed to be achieved, high achiever over here, but the real transformation was all happening underneath all that and within. And I only realized and recognized years later that people were telling me the same thing over and over and over. I just wasn't listening to it. And we find this happening a lot with our clients. But anyway, let's get into it. The first thing I'm going to talk about is ring fencing. That is the boundaries around the things that you offer. And it really pisses me off when I see this concept around ring fencing your offers being taken superficially. You can go and ring fence pretty much anything you want. That isn't the hard part, but it's answering the what around what you are ring fencing. So to give an example, maybe you are a branding specialist and your specialization is to go and help someone to create a brand that truly represents them. But again, as any deep branding expert knows, this is a deep process. You can ring fence around that massive result, let's say, in 5 steps to get to your ideal brand. But it is so big. Every single one of these steps is like one quantum leap, basically, to the next. And that ring fencing means a huge amount of instability, unknowns, and uncertainty in the thing that you're actually offering within that. At best, it basically becomes a catalog of your expertise and all the areas that you can help somebody to explore their way through, but it is something that is far from scalable. And what ends up happening is basically something like this.
Because you often will also reflect on it that you're not maybe good enough for this, or you're not gonna make this work. And then, but that part of your module made me realize, no, actually, it's not about that. I can learn a lot more here if this conversation goes further, and I can adapt my product. I've got consultancy clients at the moment, and the way I'm even approaching those projects, and it's similar projects that I've done before, but it put me in control of my projects, whereas before the consultants, clients would have kind of led me to what they needed me to do, almost kind of standing in for certain things they were lacking on their side because they knew me.
Elsa, in that video that you saw, she was used to being in this place where she was standing in to just fill in skills that others that knew her would put her in. So what's often happening is this, that there's too many buckets, that we haven't actually identified all of the areas of expertise and ideas. So they're just there kind of floating around. And there's so many things that are coming from the outside, you know, things that people are asking from you, and noise when you start to see others and you start to compare yourself. So the starting point for her was really starting to break down these areas of ideas and expertise. It was like kind of taking everything apart and finding the core within that's actually circulating and basically giving energy to everything that is at the surface. And that's what we're trying to dig out. But what I really wanted to say here is that this is about understanding that you are taking someone on a journey. And you must know what are the clear start and stop points, both for them, but also yourself. The boundaries of what you are prepared to give, and really being honest with what is going to feel truly rewarding and joyful for you. 2, recognizing the readiness in your client or potential client. So the second part that I'm going to cover now is this. It's about knowing when somebody is ready for you, whether that be a company or a person. So knowing the trigger and the right moment is really crucial in making sure that you're maximizing the value of your offer and being able to sell that in a position where you're able to sell that with confidence.
How to sell me to someone and the services I offer, and to also understand when a business is ready or not. I had the conversation with another potential client yesterday, where you kind of realize where they are on the journey, and it's not worth my time to carry on with them now. They're not ready yet.
A lot of the work that we do is around being able to identify that trigger, that right moment for when you should actually come in and when you are going to be the most valued. I often think that there are a lot of parallels in the success in business with your offer as there are in personal relationships. So if you think about it, whether you are attached or you're not, think, when was the moment that felt right for you to know that you were ready? And it is going to be the same thing with your offer. You need to know when somebody is ready, when somebody is going to fully value and also appreciate the thing that you're able to bring to the table, and when it's going to be right for you to be able to commit your energy to someone, knowing that they're going to, again, value and appreciate you. So knowing when they're ready is a crucial point, but also the trigger for them to know that they're ready is a powerful thing to be able to connect that, get them to take that next step and position you to be able to sell what you do with confidence and belief. For one of our clients, Ash, who was a cybersecurity consultant, it was this realization that for his clients, they needed to realize that they had this gap in their security, and often it was through a minor scare to realize that they needed full protection around this to secure their business. And for Elsa, what I covered earlier, her being able to know the boundaries around the journey that she was taking a client through was a starting point for her to be able to start to hone down and identify the point that she should be coming in to be truly valued and appreciated for what she was bringing to the table, and get this clearer and clearer and clearer, rather than staying in this gray area loop. And you can try this by going back to some of the people that you have worked with in the past and literally ask them this question. When did you know that you needed to invest in this, and what triggered you to take that step? The last part that I'm going to be talking about here is selling with a knowing or a sense of your true value and worth of what you are bringing to the table, including knowing when it is time to walk away. This is a big one. Quite often when we don't know our value, we end up overcompensating with everything else. We're wrapping things in externally. We're thinking we need to bring in more credentials, we need to bring in more kudos, we need more blog articles, we need more PR. We're adding in more time and services to our packages. And it makes sense because this is how we have built up that perception of value in the past. It was job titles, it was accolades, it was certifications, it was additional credentials. But that is also a place where this is vulnerable, because as soon as something hits our confidence, and this often comes in the form of rejection, so we don't get the views or response on a post or a piece of content, or we get ghosted from a potential client, we get a rejection or a non-response, and everything kind of around that starts to crumble. So knowing your value and worth, again, really boils down to that deep understanding of the thing that you are bringing to the table. I'm not talking about your entire massive pile of experience, but what is the essence of all that? So listen here to how Christina has actually drawn this out through this conversation.
And now, why do that particular guidance through Ange and I? And did the process help you get there, like versus like, you know, these kind of calls, let's be honest, you could have done them on your own?
I don't think I ever sat down, and that's what this forced me to do. It's structured conversations about my business. I have spent a lot of time with mentors in my life. You're very much mentors in a business person's life. That's what you were for me, in very specific skill sets as well. Because Christina, you bring that absolute knowledge in the sales side. And then Angela, just hands-on, holding hands with this journey of fine-tuning your business, getting to the right language.
So Elsa said, what this forced me to do was to have structured conversations around my business and feeling that time and energy investment in someone who really was committed to help me make something work. This whole thing about knowing what that value is so crucial, and also who is going to appreciate that value. Because whenever we give this out to people that expect things either for free or low cost, or they devalue it, or they don't fully appreciate the thing that you're actually giving them, it takes away our energy from the thing that we are gifted in doing. So be selective with who you are giving that energy out to, but also know that your impact will best land only with those that are ready to actually receive that value and also take ownership for their own result working together with you. So all of these things make up what I refer to as this inner diamond, those three things I spoke about. The inner diamond is this essence of everything that you bring. It is what has shown up your entire life. It is embedded in everything that you do. And when we find this rough diamond, we're looking to polish it. We're looking to get it to this ultra shine so that it sparkles so brightly that people are naturally attracted and magnetized to you. And when you're living and breathing this within your business, selling becomes effortless. It's basically folded in the way that you show up, you talk about your business. People also have clarity when they come across you, what they can expect and also ask from you, but it's always starting from this deep inner journey. So a few questions I want to leave you with to close this video and to reflect is, do you have clarity around what you are selling and ring fencing around, and how you can really be able to bring that out? Do you know the right moment to come in so that that thing that you've pulled out is going to really resonate and be elevated, be presented and framed at that right value when you put it on the table? And lastly, do you know who is going to fully appreciate that and be able to walk away in case they aren't the right fit? So that's all I have for you for today's video. So I really hope that video was useful to you. And if you did find it useful, I'd appreciate if you would hit the like button on this video and also subscribe to the channel to get further tips on how to elevate the potential of you as a business owner, embodying your full value, this inner diamond that I spoke about, and create that dream business that you fall in love with over and over daily. I'll see you in the next video.